Warning. The following program contains strong language and subject matter which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this program is intended for mature audiences only.
Well, hello everyone! Welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, the interactive vodcast where we talk about all things drag and some things that aren't. Who knows? We're really just here to have a good time. We have an amazing show planned for you this evening. We have the incredible Miss Gay New York, America with us this evening. Gia Bianca Stephens will be joining us in just a little bit. I'm so excited to kiki with her. And of course, we cannot forget the birthday girl, our Miss Gay Maryland, America, Amethyst Diamond, my beautiful co-host, will be joining us in just a moment. But I wanted to take a minute to thank everybody who has already tuned in. Robin getting first this time. Fantastic. Orion is here. Hello, darling. How are you? Jess is watching. Hi, friend. Amethyst is watching. Yep, she's watching. I'm actually looking at her right now on the screen. That's amazing. And of course, Amethyst's mom is watching tonight. Hi, Miss Tammy. How are you? And Amethyst's bestie. Oh, this is gonna be one of those nights. It's gonna be an all Amethyst hour. But we cannot forget our special guest star tonight. So we gotta share some love. Speaking of sharing, make sure you share this video because the more you share, the more people get to see our little dog and pony show that we do here every other Wednesday. Speaking of which, oh my gosh, we have so many comments coming in. And I forgot to mute my Facebook. Whoops, that's my bad. But we're going to start tonight with, of course, a little who, what, where. Who am I? My name is Jade DeVere. I'm a drag artist based out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I love the art of drag. It allows me to have some fun. What am I wearing? I wanted to go back to a look I have not done in years. I wanted to break out my old rockabilly look tonight. You know, I've got this old shirt. I don't even know where I got it. I think this used to be Sherry Trifle's shirt, honestly. Yep, it actually was Sherry Trifle's shirt. My jewelry is Rocks by Cox. You know her, you love her. My makeup tonight is kimchi chic. I wanted to do my eyes with kimchi, which I love that it's see-through. That's fun. Can see through me too. But yeah, this is the Happy Palette. I got it for Christmas and I absolutely adore it. My lips are, of course, the lip bar. I absolutely love the lip bar. My hair was styled by me. I did this years ago. I love this wig. I actually have two of them. And last but not least, where can you find me? You can find me every other Wednesday right here on Inside the Drag Closet on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can also find me at Divas Down Under. We are having our Spring Spectacular Drag Show. That is next Friday with Krishnara Sparks Diamond, Eileen O'Brennan, Amethyst Diamond, Poison, Jade DeVere, Paula Frost, and Alizayla Diamond. So make sure you get your tickets for that ASAP. And at the end of March, we are bringing out a new show called Drag Me to the Tavern. Gutbuster Entertainment has partnered with my wonderful husband to bring you Drag Me to the Tavern. Now, the reason this poster says round 2 is because the first show sold out in about a week. And there are not a lot of tickets left for the second one. So make sure you get your tickets because they will be gone. All of that information we will be posting on the Inside the Drag Closet page. Divas Down Under is a week away. So make sure you get your tickets. Don't wait. Sadly, we did have to turn people away last month because they waited until the last minute to get their tickets. And we did sell out. So good problems to have for us. But we want you to be able to see us. Speaking of seeing us, I think it is time I welcome my beautiful sister into Inside the Drag Closet this evening. You know her and love her, so let's welcome Amethyst Diamond!
Oh, stop. Hi,
Happy
everybody.
birthday to
Um,
you, etc.
etc., etc.
etc. etc.
Sister, look at you. You look adorable tonight. I absolutely love this look on you.
Oh, thank you. I haven't done this in a minute. I was like, yeah, this is what we're doing tonight.
This is good, you. There's, we all have our thing that we're really good at, and this era and this style is totally for you. So,
I love a little late 40s, early 50s kind of pin-up-y look.
absolutely. Absolutely. That is your shtick, as they say.
I love a good shtick.
Love a good shtick.
Anyway, girl, give us a little who, what, where about you.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Inside the Drag Closet. This is episode 122 for us here on Inside the Drag Closet. So, first and foremost, thank you all for your love and your support and for keeping us alive. Uh, we're almost celebrating our third anniversary coming up here in May. So, thank you very much for that. We love and appreciate you here on Inside the Drag Closet. Who am I? Oh, my goodness. I am the reigning Miss Gay Maryland America 2022, proudly coming to you right now here on the show. Again, thank you and welcome for being here with us tonight. I've been doing drag for way longer than I ever expected to, and but I'm having a good time. I'm blessed and highly favored. I turned 43 yesterday, as many of you know, because all the love that you guys sent me was overwhelming, just overwhelmingly beautiful. So thank you from the deepest pits of my heart, for all the love and energy that you gave me in the past couple of days for my birthday. So thank you so very much. Where you can find me right here, Facebook Live on Inside the Drag Closet every other Wednesday at 8:30 live. You can find me on Facebook under Amethyst Diamond. You can also find me on Instagram under Amethyst_Diamond1. You can find me anywhere there's fun and happiness and joy and light in this world. So keep a lookout. I am in Rehoboth most of this weekend. I'll be at the Pines on Friday, and I am at La Hacienda in Dover, Delaware on Saturday. So yeah, a lot of good things coming. Let's get into our guest this evening, shall we?
Absolutely. You saying the Pines reminded me I have to message Christina Kelly when we're done tonight.
You're there too. Am I looking the right way tonight, Jade? Are you over there?
You are looking like I'm right here.
Okay, good. Okay. I want to be like, where are you?
No, Nana, I'm over here. Well, girl, do you want to introduce our guest because you are her sister, and I'm super excited to kiki with her.
I would love to. She deserves one of the best introductions in the whole wide world. Her and I have a very unique and very special bonding story, which I will let us share when she comes on. But things have come very full circle for us, and it was an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to sit at nationals with this individual a year ago, only for us to both be competing together in this past January at Miss Gay America. She's quickly become a close friend and a close sister, and sharing that experience with somebody, you get really close to somebody, and those relationships are what take us into the future and make us better and make us grow as entertainers. So I am beyond elated to have my friend and my sister here in the name of Jesus, all the way from Salt Lake City, Utah. Give it up for the one and only, the reigning Miss Gay New York America, Gia Bianca Stephens.
Oh, she's got effects. Darling. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
What's up? Jade, Amethyst. It is so good to be here. Hello, everybody watching. I've been looking forward to this all week long. But how is everybody?
Look at you.
Look at you.
Could you just...
Meow.
I didn't do too much.
Oh, you did.
Understated. So, Gia,
Wonderful.
why don't you give us a little who, what, where about you?
Let's do it. Okay. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Gia Bianca Stephens. I'm the Salt Lake City Showgirl and the reigning Miss Gay New York America. I am coming at you live from my basement. We are here in my drag room. I'm coming from Salt Lake City, Utah. I have lived here my whole life, and I'm former Miss Gay Utah. We have one of the most beautiful communities that I'm so blessed to be a part of in so many ways. for so long. I sound like that old bitch in the in the cut, but it's really, really special here. And Utah is a beautiful place full of so much love. So I need to give it up for Utah and our scene, because we have some really, really hardworking talents here that don't often get the national exposure that they deserve. So Utah, I am so proud to be your girl. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm Gia. I've been doing this drag thing for 10 years now. I actually captured the title of Miss Gay New York on my 36th birthday last year. I went on to compete at nationals, and as Amethyst said, we have a bit of a story that's pretty cute. So we'll share that with you later. But we became sisters, and here I am now. So like I said, I'm about a decade into the drag game. I love me a good pageant. I've been a pageant girl for years and years and years. Plenty of titles under my belt, but I am so proud to be a Miss Gay America girl always and forever. So let's see, who am I wearing? Okay, this is going to be fun. So I am a mix and match girl. Like I am, we'll just get into it, right? Okay, so from the top down, obviously Lucinda Holiday keeps all the Gay America gals looking stunning in our regalia. This hair, I actually wanted something that had a nod of Cody Collins, rest in peace, our angel. Miss Gay America, she unfortunately passed away last year. And I really wanted to pay tribute to her she was always so beautiful and elegant and regal and womanly in gown. I really wanted a splash of that. So my hair was done by none other than Savannah Van Cartier. She is my good sis. We have been in the game together since the beginning, and she does all of my very, very best hair. This is actually my evening gown hair from Miss Gay America. That I wore with my little blue Monique V. So the jewelry is by Nova Star of Fierce Jewels. Black dress is Fashion Nova. Gloves are Amazon, and the I just wore my husband robe was from Catherine Delish. So she's a big name in the cover up in the robe business. She's got, her work is iconic, and I don't get to wear this kind of elegance when I go out to the normal clubs. So I thought, if I'm just sitting at home with the dolls tonight, let's get cozy. Oh fuck, and there we go. Look, she's already doing too much. Anyway, and then where can you find me? You're like, this bitch needs to stop already. You can find me all over in Salt Lake City. So for example, my weekend coming up, I actually have a double hitter on Saturday. I'm going to be up in Park City, Utah, which is our beautiful internationally known ski town. Some of the best snow on earth. Anyway, so I'll be there for Gay Ski Week doing a number for the Après Ski Party. And then I'll punch it over to back to downtown Salt Lake City. I'm actually performing with the Utah Arts Alliance. We have a masquerade, and we're raising funds for the Utah Arts Fest, which is Utah's biggest annual event. It's a tradition here in Salt Lake City, and we love the work that they do. So we're going to raise some money for them. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be at my show, Quorum of the Queens. We are Utah's longest running and best-selling drag brunch since our inception in 2019. And it's been my baby. It's been my project. I am blessed to work with queens from all over the country. I get former Miss Americas coming up to do my show, and we really feature the best of Utah drag talent. So I am at the Exchange in downtown Salt Lake City each and every Sunday, hosting and performing and headlining with Quorum of the Queens. You can find us at qotq.net, and my handles are Gia Bianca Stephens across all platforms.
Everywhere.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
She's everywhere you want to be, I assure you.
She's Visa. She's
the American Express, baby.
Honey.
So we got a lot of questions coming in already, but I want to start off with this. Amethyst.
Yes.
What's one question you've always wanted to ask Gia?
So being from Salt Lake City, Utah, as you said, a lot of the queens in your area don't get the recognition that they deserve. What is drag like I'm assuming Utah is mostly, forgive me for my ignorance, like a Mormon town, state, sort of a lot of that going on out there, or?
For sure. Yeah, no. Utah, we are a church-owned state, hun, through and through. The LDS Church has their foot on our neck and have since we was birthed. So, that's just the reality of where we live. Salt Lake City is a lot more liberal than Utah at large.
Okay.
And what I think one of the driving factors behind our drag scene here is actually a direct response to that church influence, because it really, like, to live here, it does cast a shadow over your entire life. it affects our politics. It affects the way your neighbors perceive you. It really is like a part of life here, which is kind of crazy because it's a religion, right? But I digress. So I think it's my firm belief that the renaissance of drag and the revival of drag in Salt Lake City over the last decade or so is, I think, a direct response to the culture, and it's a statement of our existence. It's like like you might have a strong hand in the way Utah operates, but that doesn't mean that queer people aren't alive, thriving, beautiful, loving people. So and that's kind of where I think the drag was like spawned from, at least like in terms of modern drag. And over the last 10 years, like, it's really one of the most eclectic scenes that I've ever seen. I've been blessed to travel literally from coast to coast. I've won a pageant in New York, and I've done a parade or a pride in Palm Springs, right? So I'm blessed to have seen a ton of drag out there. And what's so unique about here is how eclectic it is. And there's really a lot of like authenticity here. I feel like there's people are so committed to their art, and there's really not any carbon copies here. Like, we've got like just a small handful of like dance and bucking queens, whereas like in Texas you might have like they reign supreme there, right? But we have a really cool like drag king scene that's actually kind of
good,
seeing a lot of needed and long overdue spotlight, which is really beautiful. We've got a lot more trans and BIPOC representation as far as show hosts and people being cast and showcased. And so it's really cool to be in a scene that I believe is at the forefront of a lot of really cool not record setting, but like pace setting drag. Like, there's so much artistry, there's so much passion and creativity here, that it's really cool just to be, like really in the midst of it.
That's what I love so much about you, is you use your drag as such a wonderful platform for the betterment of everybody. You know what I mean? You're involved in so many things. You're in the community. You're involved with our own community. You're on television. You know what I mean? Like, you've done such good things with your drag. And as drag artists, as superheroes of our community, that is our responsibility to use this for that kind of platform. So I definitely give you props and kudos for all of your involvement in making the world a better place.
Thank you so much. I mean, you gave me so many emotions. My earring literally fell right off.
Get the glue tab.
But thank you, Amethyst. In all seriousness, like it's nice to be able to be on such a big platform and tell people about the drag scene here. So yeah, come check us out. We've got a lot to offer.
I love that.
Amethyst, it sounds like we need to take a road trip.
I believe we can do that.
I think it's just a quick like 34-hour drive from where y'all are at.
Oh,
is that
it? Yeah.
Me and Amethyst in the car for over 30 hours. Can you imagine?
Oh, the videos Patreon would get.
Speaking of blocked everywhere.
Right, we got some new Patreons. So if you would like to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com/InsideTheDragCloset. And I want to give a huge shout out to Jake, Jess, Lori, Orion, Corey, Brian, Jeremy, Este, Josh, Chanel, Daniel, Robin, Vicky, and our newest Patreon, Emily. So excited about that.
Wow, that is so amazing.
They like us. They really like us.
You like us. You really like us. Yes, we've been doing this for almost 3 years now, Jade.
I know. It's wild.
Yeah, what, May is our anniversary?
May, yep. And
That's
in May, we're going to take a bit of a break. We're going to have one last episode. We're going to take the summer off so we can do gigs and not burn ourselves out.
Right.
We will be at Rehoboth all the time. All the time. But we also have a ton of questions already. I already logged 10 questions for this evening, so let's dive right in. The first question is from my friend Josh. Actually, before I get to Josh's question, I also want to give a huge shout out. We have more viewers on Twitch tonight than we have ever had before.
Wow.
That's because he is here. That's because
he is here.
You like me.
And my friend, my friend Cal popped in for a hot second. That's amazing. I hope they're still watching. But diving into Josh's question, And it's a cute one. Wow, is that Marilyn Monroe?
Wow.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
And have another. Cheers. Ting. I'm
One
kidding.
of these
No, thank you.
days.
So, I mean, like, yeah, I was kind of feeling just like that classic, blonde bombshell. I mean, my drag
You
is
got
very,
it.
I'm a glamour girl. I love
You
the
got
fantasy. I
it.
love the robes and the sleeves and the gloves,
You
honey,
do.
the waves.
Homosexual.
So,
You are homosexual.
very that. Very.
This is
So, and it doesn't
homosexual
get more iconic
opulence.
than Marilyn.
By any chance, is this the same hair that you wore for evening gown?
Indeed, it is. Yes, it is.
You
Yeah.
mean this evening gown?
Because I am
Oh, yeah.
obsessed.
Yes, yeah, this is the hair, and I mean, these wigs are styled for war because this was crammed into a suitcase. I popped it out, put it on a wig head, and there she sat until this evening. But I mean, she is held up just
Yeah.
beautifully.
It's a lovely color combination on you as well.
I love the swirl. It's I love blonde. I'm a blonde. That's just kind of my shtick. But I mean, if it ain't broke, right? Don't fix it.
Don't fix it up. Leave it alone.
Isn't it fun when you find the hair color that you're like, that's the one?
Yes, and this hair, this was a product of a pageant. It was actually National Showgirl 2021. And my entire wig suite was this color combo, and I was like, okay, Savannah, that's it. Just every time you do a hair order, just keep them coming. I will, when I tire of this hair color, I'll let you know. But until then, just keep them rolling.
I love that.
I'll reach out to her, and hopefully she's going to be doing some pieces for me here in a couple months when she clears up her schedule a bit more. So.
Oh, amazing! I mean, she's kept me wigged. She's actually a licensed wig master. Like, this is her career. This is her, her, like, she works for Ballet West. She just wrapped Sleeping Beauty. This, I mean, she's kind of a big deal, in the behind the scenes community or in the drag community here. So I am so blessed. Anytime I get to wear her hair, it's kind of like, when you have something as iconic as like these Gay America crowns. I'm so glad you wore your hat tonight. I have such a sense of pride when I wear this crown. I'm like, so I had to do it justice with the right hair. And you are absolutely wigged to death. Y'all both ladies, you look lovely.
Aw, thank you. It's funny, I mentioned finding the hair color that feels right, and I'm close to mine, but mine's lavender.
Yours is lavender.
Sickening. With your with your delicate like baby doll skin. I live.
Baby doll. She's baby doll.
Full credit to Kim Chi on my skin right now. I am using, where is it? She's not sponsoring me, but damn if I'm not gonna talk her up. Glam Tears, which you can't see. Let me take it out of the thing. It's a highlighter, and it's I'm not a huge fan of highlighters, but I love this stuff.
Yeah.
I love it so much it's half empty already, and I got it for Christmas.
Well, ho ho ho.
Exactly. All right, now we're up to 14 questions. So everybody keep the questions coming. We are going to get to these. First one from Hiding in Plain Sight. They would like to know, how did growing up in Utah shape or affect the trajectory of your drag career?
I think the biggest impact that it had was kind of delaying my drag career. I didn't start until I was 25, which is actually kind of a late start for especially nowadays. Like, I mean, you've got dolls that are starting drag at like 9, 10, 11, 12. That is the fucking coolest. And I wish I grew up in a time that I had like the freedom and the whimsy, and the social platform to be able to do that. But that wasn't the case, so I avoided, I don't want to say I avoided drag, but I really didn't like understand the art form and the craft until later in gay life, so yeah, I didn't start till I think just delaying it was probably the biggest impact that it had.
Gotcha.
Wow.
I like that. I actually, looking back, the first song I ever performed was in my high school talent show. My senior year of high school, back in the late 40s. I did Today for You from Rent.
Back in the late 40s.
Back in the late 40s,
Girl, you are preserved, baby. You're preserved.
Formaldehyde is amazing. Anyway, but yeah, she knows she's a year younger than me.
I drink it.
Nom, 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 nom. Orion Angel would like to know, what is the biggest challenge you had to overcome in your MGA quest besides the finances?
Baby.
Ooh, we're going deep. Okay. I think the biggest hurdle was kind of in my head right after I qualified and won Miss New York. I hadn't put a whole ton of like major thought into, like, I had a few package ideas lined up for nationals, but one of the reasons I wanted to be Miss New York was because the promoter is like just famous for being insanely supportive of his girls. So Thomas John is, I wanted to win the pageant because when you win Miss New York, you win the support of Thomas John. And baby, like, she loves her some drag. She is in it to win it. She's a pageant girl herself. She gets it, and she is connected and networked. Like, so like in interview, for example, I said, you know, when they're like, why are you here? I'm like, well, I want to be on Thomas John's team. And so I kind of was waiting to really like activate a lot of my decisions for nationals until I knew who was going to be in my corner. So once I became Miss New York, like that opened several more doors for me that I had, like, so basically what I'm saying is like I qualified for nationals and then I had like some decisions to make, right? Like, what's the talent going to be? What's the final gown? Because now I have access to all these resources because of Thomas, because of some sponsorships. It changed the game for me. So I think I just took a little longer than I should have, like locking in on some of those decisions. Not to say that I regret anything at all that I did, but had I had more time committed to the package I presented, as opposed to kind of volleying back and forth between ideas, I think I would have been a little more consistent, probably.
Gotcha. Ironically, you just answered the next question.
Oh.
What made you want to compete in New York?
Oh, ta-da. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and also, like, I competed for Miss Fire Island in 2021 and won second alternate. And so I captured the title of Miss Ice Palace. And, you know, I've always had such reverence for the New York drag, like, spirit, because there's like, the city is so alive. I mean, like, if you, all it takes is like one trip to New York and you're like, okay, I get it. Like, all the movies, all the songs, like, there's so much magic there and it's so alive. That totally applies to the drag scene as well. So it's one of those titles that's like, you know, every title has dignity, right? But I personally had a lot of reverence for the Miss Gay New York America legacy. And I knew that, you know, challenging myself to try to be a part of that would really get me to like up my game. And so it presented an opportunity for me to go, okay, bitch, I'm a pageant girl. I'm here to like, let y'all want to play? Let's dance. Poof. So it was, and then, you know, the work paid off, and it was being Miss New York has been an absolute honor. It's everything that I thought it was going to be and more.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That makes my heart happy to hear. I mean, that's how I feel about being Miss Maryland. So that's exactly how I feel. Going back to Orion's question, I think leading up to winning Miss Maryland would have been my biggest hurdle would have been self-validation. I think leading up to Miss Maryland, once I won Miss Maryland and it being my first time competing for that title and taking the title, that validation was checkmarked, like, for sure. To join that legacy of entertainers of 37 other Miss Gay Maryland Americas, 5 of which went on to become our national symbol of excellence. Speaking of Miss Tatiana Vershey,
like, I get so joyous hearing that. Like, that's totally why we do this. Like, that's so special.
That's why we do this.
Yeah.
For the sisters that came before and took that bar and chucked it into the air. You know what I mean? Like, being Miss Maryland is my biggest honor and privilege, and will be for some time of my life. So yeah, it's a good feeling. And that's my mom. Hi mom, I love you. My biggest.
Hi mom.
My number one. So yes, that's yes, Jess, she's number one over you. I'm sorry. But I know you understand. Yeah, so just what we do and who we represent. and the tribe that we have beneath us. Just it makes you want to be better for those reasons. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Jess does have a question here, and
Yes.
she directs it at Gia, but I think both of you can answer this. Who inspires you, Gia?
Okay, here we go. So, pageantry really is where I started to like see entertainers and go, okay, like that's something I want to work towards. That's the kind of girl I want to be. So in the early years, it was some of the big names in pageantry, like obviously like your entire House of Andrews, your Latrice Royales, your Sasha Colbys, your Tiffany T. Hunters, like those, your Sunny Delights, right? Like those queens that have just like been in it and just do the pageant aesthetic so well. Like these are girls that when they come out in an evening gown, like it takes your breath away. Like that's the kind of impact that you want to have when you're out there modeling, and it's so cool. Like I mean, I was having like, you know, like a physical reaction to this drag, and so it, you know, I just started to do more and more for me. So as I kind of start to find my identity as a performer, I am one of the biggest Kylie Minogue fans around. And she to me is one of the last like true living showgirls. And Kylie Minogue has influenced my drag like from the time I really started to like identify with this pageant showgirl aesthetic. She's always just so put together and delicate and beautiful, and but I think what I love about her the most is when I watch her perform, it's like any iconic entertainer. They make you feel something. And
Absolutely.
Kylie, for me, I don't know. I just get her. I feel like she's always just kind of spoken to my heart. Her music's been a big part of my my upbringing and my coming out, and you know, she's a goddess to me. So as far as queens go, you know, it's the iconic old school pageant houses. And then as far as my aesthetic as an entertainer, Kylie Minogue down. She is my girl.
I love that. How about you, Amethyst?
As far as inspirations are concerned,
Yeah.
I would definitely say drag legends, Tommy Ross. Who else? Oh God, so many. LaWanda Jackson, Whitney Page. Oh God, just let Chelsea Pearl. Legends in the drag. Coco Vega, obviously Coco Vega. I'm inspired by glamour and powerful women. Getting to be a cisgendered man, you know, and being able to do this as a living, being a strong, powerful woman as a living, and being able to represent women as a whole, and give them more of a voice, is such an honor. You know, I mean, it's like, obviously, why wouldn't we do this for that reason? You know what I mean? So, yeah, my inspiration is just strong, powerful women everywhere.
I like that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Mine's fictitious women, cartoon women.
Sure.
Like that's
Sure.
a shot.
Yeah.
The Baroness from G.I. Joe. There is not a little gay kid on the planet who did not want to be the Baroness.
Hello.
Let's say it.
I love it.
Ooh, this is a fun one. Orion would like to know, what is the most important thing to remember when judging a pageant?
Wow. Okay.
Get it.
When judging a pageant, the most important thing to remember is the person, the human being that is on that stage in front of you, the heart, the soul of that person. We are at the most vulnerable position we've been in all year, standing in front of you all. We are broke, we are exhausted, we are stressed out, we are overcome with emotion. We are putting our lives, our wallets on the line. And I would appreciate a little more humanity behind the eyes. Sometimes I get in front of a judging panel that can be so icy and like, you know, it like energy is real. Energy is, it cannot be created nor destroyed. It is ever present. It is right in front of us all the time. And you affect the energy in that space when you have, like, bitch, we know your face, okay? I know what a mean bitchy face looks like, and I know what like a nice, you don't have to be sitting there gushing at me, but I need the judges that are like mean mugging the contestants to really like knock that shit off. I would like you to remember the most important thing is that there's a human underneath all the makeup and the wigs, and you might hate everything that we have, but have the professionalism to keep that on your score sheets, not on your face.
I feel that. Like the few pageants I have judged, like other judges have given me a little flack because they were like, why are you smiling at them? I was like, because I want them to succeed. I don't want them to fail because I'm sitting here looking like a bitch. I want them to be at their best.
Yes.
Right. I don't want to be, we shouldn't be intimidated by the people who judge us. There should be no intimidation factor. You know what I mean? Why would you, as a judge, want to throw somebody off their game from being who they are because you're mean mugging them? You know what I mean? Like, have a little bit of personality, make them feel welcome, make them feel comfortable. That's what you would want in a judge.
Right. And once again, this is not a direct, at to the judging panel at Miss Gay America 2023. I've been doing pageants for 9 years. And so I've sat in front of many a judges panel, and there's a handful of y'all out there that have like really not made the experience awesome, but maybe being more aware of it if you're going to be on a panel, food for thought.
Yeah.
I have the reverse problem because if I see someone who's not doing well and I'm a judge, I start smiling more and I'm like, come on, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope.
Yeah. And listen, I don't enjoy judging myself. Like it's not for me. Because I identify way more with the contestants and that the vulnerability and the desire to impress. So I get that the judging is a really hard job. So, I want to acknowledge that y'all judges do work hard, and it's nerve-wracking, I'm sure, for y'all, but bitch, just a little wink. It would be all right.
Something, just a little bit of humanity. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. One more question, and we're going to kiki for a hot minute. And this question's a very serious one. Ryan would like to know, do queens in Utah have special tucking panties like the Mormons have special underwear?
Ha!
Wow,
you know what? Hey, our tucking mechanisms are just as diverse as our drag scene itself. So you've got your gaff girls, you got your duct tape girls, you've got your no tuck girls, you got your thong girls, you've got your boy short girls, you've got your no short girls. I mean, but here's the deal. Like, if I'm looking at your tucking panties with that much detail, then there's something else missing. But no. So the for those of you that don't know, like a big like anchor of the LDS faith is these like, I mean no disrespect, I really don't know like the reason behind it, but there's like, it's basically underwear. It's just this plain white, Hanes looking underwear that's like sanctioned by the folks running the church, that okay, these are your official like Latter-day Saint garments, and yeah, they wear those pretty much all the time under all their clothing. But I really don't know the significance behind it, so forgive my naivete, but it doesn't apply in my industry.
Yeah.
I'm living right now. I'm living for the explanation of everything you just explained.
Okay. Okay. Do we have? Okay. You know what? You're a LaWanda fan, so I am going. Do you have time for a quick story?
Yes.
Okay. So here we go, y'all. This is cute. So these garments in question, right? They're a very revered thing in the church. Like they do have a lot of significance to members of the LDS faith. But I can't speak on that because I don't know firsthand. But I digress. So anyway, this was in the 70s, and LaWanda Jackson had a gig in a little town called Wendover, and that's in West Nevada. It's about an hour and a half drive outside Salt Lake City, and that's where like all the sinning takes place. So, there's some little casinos and like a weed store and fireworks and all the sinful bullshit that you can't get in the confines of Salt Lake City. We punch it to Wendover to like get us some sinful fireworks and some marijuana, right? So LaWanda was doing a gig at the casino there, and on the weekends they would bus the entertainment into Salt Lake City to spend the weekend. And so she went into the store and found, this really cute little matching set of an outfit, and in the thrift shop, and bought it. And she goes, "Ooh, I like this." And so she actually got a few different sets of this little cute white outfit. So, being LaWanda, a glamour girl, she takes her little belt, she accessorizes it with a belt and some jewelry and a glove, maybe, So she gets, she's Miss Jackson, all right? It's LaWanda. She got herself together, and then she takes her bag of little matching sets, punching it down Main Street in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the 70s, and is getting honked at, and like all kinds of awful things being said to her. And she's like, "Bitch, I'm just living my gay life. I'm out here looking good in my new outfit, accessories, you name it." And so this goes on for about 10 minutes or so, and she's just getting heckled from the street, which is very Utah. So welcome to Salt Lake, LaWanda, by the way. But in any event, she finally goes into another store, and she goes, "What is going on?" She goes, I keep getting, like, all these people on the street are harassing me." And she goes, "Ma'am, do you know what you have on?" She's like, "No." She goes, "That's the special underwear that the Mormons wear. And it's not to be seen in public eye. And you're out and you're parading this underwear up and down the street. That's really, really inappropriate." So that is that. Every time LaWanda comes here, I make her tell that story on the microphone. I think it is so hilarious. Wow. So yeah, LaWanda was just wearing those garments up and down Main Street.
Wow.
That might be the best thing I've ever heard.
I love that story. Yeah.
And it was such an honor to actually get to meet her. That was the first time I met her was in January in Little Rock.
Wow, what a gift, right?
And to witness her on stage, oh, shut up. Yeah. Like, just...
nothing short of a personal hero. I feel so... I wish that the young kids coming up drag right now, I want to tell the young kids watching, make some time and effort to connect with your older generation that came before you, because there is so much history to be learned and knowledge to be gained and experiences to take in.
Yes.
Get to know these people, because getting to know LaWanda over the last several years has been such a gift, and to feel so connected to, a time when drag was totally, criminalized, and it's such an honor to share space with these people, and to Absolutely. Be to have the blessing of their experience. So take it in, and LaWanda is just has it doesn't get better than that when it comes to wisdom, and really just she's got a way of just talking right into your soul that is so touching, and I can't say enough good things about her.
Well, exactly. And especially with what's going on politically right now, just drag shows being outlawed, being deemed inappropriate by people who haven't gone to one and don't know what they're talking about. Like, it's history repeating itself. And I think that's the thing that gets me most is the arguments are from people who clearly think drag is one thing and it's just that thing. And I'm kind of like, well, by that argument, no one's allowed to go see Channing Tatum in another movie anymore because he did Magic Mike. But that's that guy. He did that. So he's not allowed to be in a kid's movie. He did G.I. Joe. Nope. He's Magic Mike. He not appropriate. They're not understanding. Look, when that I could go on this whole rant about Hollywood right now, focusing on you have to play what exactly you are. You cannot deviate from this. Reality TV shows are becoming TV. Hi, how's everybody doing tonight?
Restart your Jade. So just turn your Jade off and then back on again.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay, it's like my router tonight. What you at home did not see is the fact that literally a minute before the show, my router was out and I could not get internet. I popped back and I was like, "Hi, we're back. I'm putting y'all backstage and we're going to start the show. Let's have fun."
Literally.
Game on. Literally.
It was a mess. The questions are pouring in tonight. Keep them coming, everybody.
Not all these questions. What is this?
I love it. Daniel would like to know, does being Miss Gay America, I think you mean Miss Gay New York or Miss Gay Maryland, affect how you feel about speaking out on certain issues? Do you feel more confident to speak out or more reserved because you are now representing MGA as well as yourself?
I'll bite first. I mean, yes, I think when you carry a title, I think you are wise to edit yourself a little bit, to be very aware of what you put out there and how it can be perceived, and you know, so much is just like misunderstood these days that I think it's just way too easy anymore to snatch an insult out of the jaws of a compliment, and it's just yeah, you got to be ever vigilant. So I do find myself, just maybe not speaking out about things, but just being hyper aware of just topics that are sensitive, and it does affect your at least for me, my willingness to say something all the time, and which is difficult. But once again, when you're representing a legacy and you're representing a an institution like Miss Gay America, whether you're at the state, city, regional, national level, promoter, contestant alike, your involvement with this contest, is visible. And I think you should be respectful of the titles that you choose to go and represent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely gives us a heightened sense of self-awareness, which is a good thing, because it's okay to think before you speak. It's a good thing. And if there are issues in which I don't feel comfortable enough speaking on, I will at least educate myself beforehand before I just fire off on social media or make myself seem like, oh yeah, blah, 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 and not knowing anything about the actual ingredients of what the issue is. So yeah, it definitely gives us a heightened sense of self-awareness. And I don't necessarily think that's a terrible thing. I think that's a good thing for any of us to do, is to stop and check ourselves. We're in. It's okay to love yourself and respect yourself enough to know what you're putting out into the world, and it's your responsibility as a human being on this planet. But that's just me. That's how I feel. That's how I carry myself. So.
I live.
I think that's valid, though. I've said, like, when I first started doing drag, a lot of people were like, you should run for Miss Gay Pennsylvania. And I was like, I don't think that's my path. I don't think that's my journey. I think I'm going down a different route. And the older I get, the more I'm like, I have a lot of respect for the Miss Gay America system, but that's not my journey. But I'm going to uplift the girls that it is their journey.
Yeah, I mean, I think same thing can be said for Drag Race. A lot of how often at your shows do you get, have you done Drag Race? Are you going to go on Drag Race? And as awesome as a platform and opportunity as that is, like, that's not the path for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many ways to enjoy this art form. There's so many flavors that there's only one kind that's on TV, and that's TV drag. Yep. There's a lot of cool stuff to be seen and experienced, live, loud, and in color in your hometowns.
Right.
Exactly.
Support local drag.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that right in the comments. I think I put it in.
Local drag. This is where it comes from.
Yep.
Locally squeezed. Freshly delivered.
Ooh, these questions are great.
Pick a good one, Jade.
Cassie would like to know, since you don't live in the state you currently reign in, do you feel there's a struggle to truly represent your state? And did you get any backlash from in-state queens that you might have beaten? And that goes for both of you.
It does.
Well, I think this is an opportunity to educate a little bit. So within the Miss Gay America system, there are many different regional and state prelims. And there are a handful of prelims that, although are regional in nature, carry a state's name. Miss Gay New York is one of them. Miss Mississippi, Miss Tennessee, and wasn't Maryland an open, or was that a?
It's an open state, so any state that touches
right.
Maryland can compete.
Okay, got it. Thank you for clarifying. So, in any event, yes, within the confines of the Miss Gay America system, no, I don't feel a whole lot of pressure, because it's known and understood that Miss Gay New York is a regional title, but that's not understood to pretty much anybody else, right? So thank you for the chance to kind of clear that up. It can get a little confusing, but yeah, there are a handful of states that are in fact regional pageants, which mean they are open to anybody regardless of residency. But for example, like to be Miss Arizona, that's been a closed state pageant for 400 years, right? So you've got to live in Arizona to be Miss Arizona. That's just not the case for Miss Gay New York America. So, and I said earlier in the broadcast, I've always felt a connection to New York drag specifically, but I think when you're a little gay boy growing up and you're idolizing musicals and theater, and New York's always gonna be like, it's always gonna have a little magic, I think, to most little gay boys. And so it hits the ear. It's beautiful. Who wouldn't want to be Miss Gay New York America? I love saying that. so and then as far as the backlash, if we're getting into it here, then yes, I did get some backlash from at least one contestant, actually, that come to understand. They said in their interview that they didn't believe that a non-New York queen should carry the New York title, because I was the only queen that was not from the New York area that competed. So it's hard not to take that as a bit of a dig, but I digress. It's neither here nor there. But yeah, there was a little bit of attitude, but that's the beauty of regional pageants. Like you've really got to up your game, because you have no idea who's showing up. A bitch can pop in from any coast, anywhere, any state. That's what an open regional is, darling. So if regional pageants aren't your thing, there are other avenues that you can certainly take. There are bar titles, there's little court titles, but perhaps regional pageants that lead to nationals, maybe they're not for everybody. But that's just the nature of a regional pageant in the land of Miss Gay America. Come one, come all, and bring your best, because you do not know who might show up to snatch it.
That part.
Amethyst, anything to add to that?
Bring that question up for me one more time. I want to read through that one more again.
Let me figure out where it went. Basically, it was, did you
about backlash, about being from out of state?
Yep. Since you don't live in the state you currently reign in, do you feel there is a struggle to truly represent your state? And did you get any backlash from an in-state queen that you might have beaten?
So it was an honor and blessing for me, because it was actually Maryland that reached out to me. Some of the my former Miss Maryland sisters actually reached out to me about running for the title. So for me, it was an honor and blessing that another state was reaching out to me, especially be it Maryland. Being Miss Gay Maryland is I don't have words to describe what it is to be.
It's like these are difficult pageants to win, you guys.
There are states in this country that when you say you are the representative, people go, oh shit.
Period.
You know what I mean? Like, so, and to carry this title is mind blowing to me. So yeah, there was definitely not any backlash. There was a lot of questioning from, my following here in Pennsylvania. They're like, well, why or how or what was the decision behind, why not us, was basically what I was getting. So I guess if there was a backlash, it was my fellow Pennsylvanians going, what the hell? You know what I mean? So, and that was out of love. So I guess there was a little bit of backlash, but it was love at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
I love that.
So, but when you find a system like Maryland, like New York, like Eastern states, like Western states, like Miss Southern, that have the kind of promoters that they do, that want to see their queens succeed, and they will do anything in their power to make sure that happens.
Amen.
Those are the people you need to represent you. We can't do this by ourselves. It takes a village, a country, a whole continent
and
to
a really
and a purse, honey, and a purse
Yeah.
So, and money talks in pageantry. I'm sorry, it is what it is. But when you have that kind of team behind you that just says, I want to see you be the best you can possibly be, baby, you grab onto that and you represent it to the best of its ability, like Miss Gay New York, like Miss Maryland. Honey, I'm booked, I'm blessed, I'm highly favored, I am loved, baby.
She's just fine, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so stinking grateful. Like my heart is so full, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like, and it's and I'm taking that and I'm spreading that to the world. So you know what I mean? It's our gift. You know,
Yes.
it's not just so, you know.
Beautiful.
I'm going to quickly change gears just to address a question that came up. Hayden jumped over to Twitch and they wanted to know, does anybody know if Twitch will be having closed captions anytime soon? They're glad to see us here, but having to read through a second device about what is being said. Daniel Jackson did point out, I think closed captions is an option depending on what programs are used. I've seen several Twitch channels that had closed captions. Hayden, I'm going to look into that to see if we can caption the show.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that. We have such great fans, you know,
Exactly.
and we want to make sure everybody gets the same experience. So yes, please, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yep. I would check now, but I'd have to stop the show. But as soon as we are done, I'm going to do some quick research. Orion Angel would like to know, have you ever had a time in your career where you felt like you were like rock bottom, and how did you climb out of it?
Oh, honey. Yeah, there are times now. I guess I'll kick this one off. I do this full time. This is my job. You know what I mean? And there are things behind the scene that a lot of people don't know or understand. When I say I do this as a full time job, I do it when I'm not wearing the hair and makeup. You know what I mean? It's messaging and social media and making music and mixes and making connections, having meetings, doing Zoom calls. It's so many other things. In order to really be on top of this and be successful at it, it is a 24-hour job. You know what I mean? So um, doing this all the time, I love what I do. And I wouldn't change it for the world, but there's a lot that people don't see behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So,
how about you, Gia?
Can I see that question one more time?
Absolutely. If I need to stop, like, unstarring the question so fast. Is there ever a time you hit rock bottom, and how did you climb out of it?
yes, sorry. I didn't even answer
that. You know, mine wasn't really a drag rock bottom. Well, okay. Actually, yes. No, so I am actually celebrating 7 months sober from drugs and alcohol. I struggled, especially the last couple of years before I made the decision to go sober. There were some pretty, I think I was suffering from a version of imposter syndrome because, you know, I had my public face and my show face, but I was really kind of struggling with this and not really acknowledging it. Like I didn't acknowledge the problem to the extent that it's, you know, to how bad it had become. And I had a really, really jarring experience that kind of just was like a wake-up call. I basically I had I don't know if it was spiritual or whatever, but I just had this knowledge come over me that if I stay on this path, it could kill me. It will kill me. So, you know, that was probably my rock bottom. There was a rock bottom moment, you know, that really shifted things for me. And since I've made that decision and committed to it for now over 7 months, has been I'm just enjoying life in a way different way. I'm way more present. I'm way more aware of myself. I feel like I'm just more checked into the people around me. And, you know, I had a lot of guilt and shame around what I was doing, you know, after the show. And it started to affect me in some really, really dark psychological ways. And, you know, thank God that I, you know, actually had an experience that scared me so unbelievably shitless that it led to a lifestyle change, and one that I don't regret at all. So, you know, to those of you out there who might be struggling, I just want you to know that sobriety looks different for everybody, and therapy is not for everybody. Rehab is not for everybody. There is no one perfect recipe as to how you are going to make these changes and improvements in your life. It may take some times of trying something and failing before you can stick to it, because God knows I did. You know, I tried to get sober a handful of times over the years. Then you know, I finally found something that worked. So don't allow anybody else's success story be the only avenue that you take to your own success. There's a lot of ways to get there. So if you're struggling with something, give yourself a break and allow yourself, you know, to find a plan, so to speak, or an experience that resonates with you. Because I think people are so quick to say, well, this is what it's going to take for you. It's like, well, you don't really know me or my struggle. But I think the more people and entertainers come out and talk about these things, you know, these are words that I would have liked to have heard on my darkest day. So
Right.
I just want people to know that you know, you can do whatever damn thing you want, and you don't belong to cocaine or heroin or pills or alcohol. You don't belong to that. So sorry, a little bit of a tangent, but it's something I'm passionate about. So thank you for giving me the chance to speak on that.
No, a lot of people are very happy about that. Darren to Shine, who was on just a couple weeks ago, giving a shout out for that. Everybody's just, thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
I used to be a drinker. I used to be quite the drinker. And then I was like, nope, I need to stop. I went and started seeing a therapist. And to kind of tack on to what you were saying, like this therapist, he was in charge of a lot of things. And I would be paying for an hour with this therapist. He would show up 15 minutes late and cancel and like try to leave 15 minutes early. So at one point I was like, hey, I'm not going to pay you for a full hour if you're only going to give me 30 minutes. And he was like, what? And I was like, we're going to stop. I'm going to go see someone else. Thank you for your time. The time that you did give me was valuable, but you did not give me the time I needed, and I'm not paying for this anymore.
Wow.
Right.
And see, like, you know, to get yourself to that point, you're already putting yourself in such a vulnerable position, and it's such a huge step, and it's so fucking terrifying. It's a huge commitment in your head and in your heart. So to not have that reciprocated and I mean, that to me is that's just blatant disrespect.
Yeah.
For not only for your profession, but for the person who is here trying really goddamn hard to make some big changes in their life. How dare you?
Exactly. Derek says his rock bottom, he belongs to a drag queen, and that's absolutely the worst. Love you, ladies. That's my husband, by the way.
You know what? My husband would probably say the same thing. We are a high maintenance bunch.
It's accurate.
I know.
Shout out to drag husbands, because if it were not for Scott, I could not do any of this. He's my rock, my support system. So, but drag husbands everywhere. We owe you. We should make that a national holiday. Actually, they need a whole day.
We should. We are a lot to put up with. We a lot to deal with.
Hey.
And it's funny. My husband is a show director, and at Divas Down Under this month, we use a stage kitten to help us collect our tips. Our stage kitten is going to be my sister.
I love that.
Yep, they're going to be coming in. They're going to be our kitten for us that night. I'm very excited. They were supposed to call me yesterday so I could go over details, and they never did. But yeah, they're amazing.
Amazing.
15 more questions. The number keeps going up.
Let's get it.
We've been here for over an hour. This is amazing. This is flying by, everybody.
Oh my gosh, I could do this all freaking night. I'm having a ball.
Right.
Oh, good. Good.
Actually, before we get to the next question, a question I have for the two of you. How did you two meet?
Take it away.
Oh my goodness. It was a long, long time ago. It was mid-January. Picture it, mid-January. It was 2022 down in Little Rock, Arkansas. Uh, uh, Two little gentlemen by the name of Ted and Dustin were sitting in the audience just watching the huge gay Super Bowl in front of us. We
Period.
had we had Ursula's, we had live singers and
We had
color
color
guard.
guard.
The color guard, baby,
We
the
got
color guard.
42nd Street. Tatiana stomped a goddamn hole in the stage, and her
She
98 dancers.
stomped it down. But yes, Gia and I were actually spectators a year ago in January in Little Rock, Arkansas, and we had the pleasure of meeting because we sat right next to each other, and you can actually hear,
Literally, yeah,
you can hear
13 and
our
14.
commentary. 13 of yes, that's what it was. And you can actually hear our commentary in some videos that I took. You can hear Miss Gay, you can hear gay program, like homosexual program.
Oh, so fun. I had so fun.
So fun. And we said to each other, wouldn't it be cool if next year you and I were up on that stage? And lo and behold, Miss Lady Liberty and Miss Krabby Patty made it to the big gay Super Bowl after all.
And we had us a time.
We had us a time. It was such a pleasure sharing a dressing room. We were in the same group. We had the same contestant color. Like,
Girl, we were sisters before, but what a special bonding experience. And I got to show y'all something.
oh,
Sister
stop.
Amethyst.
You're gonna make me cry.
This is
Oh,
a little figurine that Amethyst presented to me in the dressing room, and one of the first things she said, she goes, "Now it's nothing big." And I said, "Oh my God, stop! It already is something big." And she told me this beautiful story how she saw this little New York figurine, and it reminded her of me, and so she gifted that to me in the dressing room. And this is right up next to my trophy, my Miss Gay America trophy, and my 2 crowns. But no, like what an amazing. I have the utmost love and respect for Miss Amethyst, y'all. You guys who tune in week after week, what a treat to get to hear from her and the lovely Jade. And no, you meet these people in life, and you're like, you know what, that's my people. That's my kind of gal. And Amethyst and I were just very much that girl, I think, for each other. And so we fell hard and fast, I guess, but we just bonded quick, and we both appreciate the good old school pageant drag, and she's a hoot and a half. I have so much love and respect for her. So, but yeah, no, what an amazing experience to have so much in common, the same group, dressing room, presentation color. It was really, really cool to have a lot of those moments with my amazing sister. And the cool thing about Miss America is this is not an easy pageant, folks. Like, girls compete for this 6, 7, 8, 9 times before they win. And that's the best part, actually. It is a lot of work, but I think the best part, if you talk to any Forever Miss America, they're going to talk about the journey and everything that went into getting to that point. And so at this point, it's going to take a few more times before I maybe make the 10 or, wear the crown. But I'm bound and determined to make it happen one day. And until that happens, I'm just going to love the ride and celebrate amazing connections like me and Amethyst have. Like, what a special thing that we got to share that. And, and now here we are, still just sisters, just being sisters, carrying on, doing what we do. So it's, I'm in it for the long haul. Miss America is a lifestyle. You really got to stick with it if you want it. So, I'm sure that me and Amethyst will be up there maybe another time or two together.
Absolutely. That's the best part about it is it's not just a competition. Like, I didn't compete against you. We competed together. What I mean? That truly is the feeling in Miss Gay America. No one's ever standoffish or mean or rude, blatantly rude or anything like that. It's we're doing this together, and one of us is going to be lucky enough to be the representative this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Cassie points out she had to keep Amethyst's sun costume from stabbing Gia.
Yeah, that's
it's all
Cassie.
good. It's all good. A little sisterly stab ain't nothing when you're back there in the prayer line with your sis.
Honey, they put me in the back. I was too big.
I know.
I was chatting with Roxy Overbrook this week, who was there, and she was just like, after they announced top 10, just watching everybody trying to leave the stage and Amethyst kind of going,
Yeah.
Help.
help me.
Help.
I can't
Uh-huh.
turn.
It was something else.
But no, but I saw, like, you know, I am a show girl. I live for that shit. So, you know, I love that a gal was like, hey, bitch, this is my first time in front of this audience. I'm gonna step out there. I am Miss Maryland, goddammit. You were gonna see
That's
me in
right.
my sun spikery, and if a bitch gets poked, that's just tough apples,
You're
huh?
gonna use this. You're gonna see this. I'll come out wearing 4 other contestants.
Period. Do what you gotta
Why
do.
not? Charcuterie baby.
Shout out to Amishka Denial who made that outfit. That was amazing.
Sickening.
Yes, absolutely.
16 more questions.
Hit it, baby.
Keep them coming, kids.
Fire away.
So this question was placed about 45 minutes ago. Just
My
saying, that's how far
Okay.
behind we are.
I'll try and speed it up.
No worries. I'm having fun. What would you say are some of the most fascinating aspects of the drag king scene in Utah?
The rate at which it's blown up. It's just over the last couple of years, really, there is just an explosion of kings, and they're really, really, really good. There's some really cool stuff, and it's kind of just like the king scene just decided, like, okay, we're a thing in Salt Lake City now, and we're gonna keep growing and keep spooking you. And it popped up so fast. It was really cool to see overnight.
That's awesome.
I love that. Actually, one of our guests in 2 weeks is an amazing king. Where'd their picture go? Their picture disappeared. Let me upload this again.
Peter?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I uploaded one of their pictures earlier and it disappeared. Peter Pansy.
Peter Pansy.
Oh, sickening. Oh, he looks fabulous.
Right?
I love that.
I am so excited to meet him. We've got Peter Pansy and Sybil joining us.
Yes.
This look gives me life.
That's a gal who knows how to paint an eye. That is some see you next Tuesday paint, honey, and I live.
Exactly. We answered a question. We're back up to 16. Robin would like to know, if you were ever stranded on a deserted island, what is one thing you would want with you?
My husband.
Aw. How long have you two been together?
We have very homosexual, right? We've been together for 13 years, and just this Monday we celebrated 3 years of marriage.
Yay!
Scott.
Come on, Mr. Bianca Stephens. I love
Mr.
it.
Stephens, honey, Daddy Stephens. Yeah, no, he's just incredible. I can't say enough good things about him, but it's my guest spot. So back to me. No. I love you, dear. Mwah.
Nope, we did that one. Vicky would like to know, the Thompson twins, always asking questions one right after the other. What is your most memorable moment at MGA?
Oh, I know what mine was. Mine was when I won the award for best interview of the preliminary season. So,
Yes.
thank you, all of you. Thank you.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you, baby.
God, that's a tough one. Okay, it's a little unconventional, but my most memorable moment was probably the most love I felt all week and support. And it was right after we called the top 10. I did not make it. And when that happens and when you feel like you're prepared, you go through a lot of emotions. And in the past, that might have led to me like drinking too much, snorting too much cocaine, popping too many, you know what I mean? Like it can be a trigger for folks because it is such an investment. And I, wanted to be really aware of my trigger. So
Right.
I made the decision after they called the top 10 to leave the venue and go have a lovely dinner with my amazing family. My husband, my in-laws, his parents came and took us to a lovely dinner.
Aw.
You know, my dressers, my assistant, and we just sat there and had a cheers and had a lovely, delicious, nice meal in a beautiful restaurant in a beautiful hotel. And you know, I was congratulated and loved, and I had me some short ribs and taters and a green bean.
That's all you need. When you don't
And
make the 10, get you some short ribs and taters, baby.
and bitch, when I tell you I was sitting there in full geesh, make no mistake, I was absolutely in drag.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I'll just, I can clean it up. So I put my little bib on. I ate my short ribs, but you know, we just had it felt so good to just be around all that love. Especially when you feel so vulnerable, and you know, you recognize that it could be upsetting. But bitch, I was painted out of my mind and I was hungry, so we went to go eat. I gathered my thoughts, and then I came back, put on my gown, and got ready for the coronation of Miss Tatiana Boucher.
Absolutely. It was such a blessing to have, you know, my diamond mine was there. We call ourselves the diamond mine. So, you know, it was such a blessing to have, like, my family was there with me and supporting me and stoning shit for days and just being there and loving me. And that is one of the most important things you can have. Because we are putting ourselves on the line. We are very vulnerable. We're very sensitive to what happens. You know, we put our blood, sweat, and tears into this, and then when we're judged by 5 individuals who don't see the same vision we do, you know what I mean? That hurts sometimes, and it's okay to admit that because that's how we grow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that was a vulnerable time, but my family was there, and not for 1 ounce of an instant of a second that week did I not feel that I was loved and that I was confident enough to take this on. Like it was such a blessing. Like
I
I'm
love
so
it.
grateful for my family and my friends and my sisters and my fans. Like there are days I wake up and I don't want to do this shit. You know what I mean? There are days where I just like, am I valid enough? Can I keep continuing to do this? But this morning, the first thing I did was watch a video. It was a surprise video that was put together for me for my birthday, and Maya Montana was in it. Dextasy was in it, all wishing me happy birthday. And that was the first thing I viewed this morning. And
Oh,
when you feel that, like there's no other feeling in the world. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna put some mascara on and I'm gonna keep doing this shit for you. Okay.
yay!
Yeah, it's a good feeling when you make a difference in the world and it's noticed. So
Yeah, it feels great to be seen.
It
it's
just
good.
dawned on me. I was supposed to film a happy birthday for you while I was at Blue Moon, and I totally got sidetracked.
It's okay I've seen the video and people know I've seen the video. The people who were supposed to be in the video are sending me messages like, "I'm sorry I wasn't in your video."
That's even better, honestly. I did it on the air.
It's great. No, you did. Thank you. No, it's good. It's good. Lots of love. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, Ryan has a really good question here. How many times did you edit your drag aesthetic before you really discovered who you were? I still do.
Honestly, same. I'm still editing. I'm still looking.
It's an
Yeah,
evolution. Like
it is. It is. It's an evolution. Definitely, it's a growth. You know, you walk this journey. You let go of things that don't work. You find things that do work, and it's constant growth. And it should be. You should never plateau as an entertainer because there's always new things that you can try and different things that maybe you didn't think you were good at that you find out you actually are very good at.
Right.
So drag is a journey and a growth. So yeah, don't let yourself plateau.
I
And
will say,
do a good
for me, as like when I kind of had like the aha moment that like, okay, yeah, the showgirl, the vibe, the pageant vibe. This is when I first discovered that was kind of my gimmick, and like really felt it in my soul. Was in 2015, Columbus, Ohio, the very first national showgirl pageant ever. Like it was the first time the pageant was held. It was my first time doing a national pageant. I got second runner up. Who knew? It was really, really cool. And that's when I was like, okay, yep, this is my thing. This is I like the gowns, I like the updos, I like the jewelry. I want to keep doing more of this.
Yes, ma'am. Glamour.
Yes.
I love the glamour.
same.
Oh,
Same.
I am.
it's things. What are you doing, Jade? What's going on?
My husband just sent me something that we can talk about for a hot second.
Oh, sure. That'd be wonderful.
We do have a lot of questions, but this is a very interesting thing. They just announced the cast for season 2 of Queen of the Universe.
Oh, yes, they did.
And I have the list of contestants right here. Aura Eternal from Palermo, Italy. Chloe, I don't know if it's V or 5 from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Giselle Royale from Orlando. Love Masisi from Amsterdam. Maxi from Manila, Philippines. This is my favorite drag name, by the way. Her name is Militia Skunt. Militia Skunt.
God.
From San Francisco, California. Miss Sisistrata from Tel Aviv, Israel. Tyga Brava from Cancun, Mexico. Trevor Ashley from Sydney, Australia. And Voila from Coventry, England. Or maybe it's Voila. I don't know. I like Voila.
Voila.
So kudos to all of them for doing Queen of the Universe.
That's awesome. That's quite a collective bunch.
It is.
Wow.
Malicious Skunt.
Malicious Skunt. Oh.
Malicious Skunt.
I'm not allowed to say my name right now. Okay.
You're saying someone's name?
You're right.
I'm typing it into the chat too. Militia.
I love that. Just in case anybody needs to
provide a visual. There's a visual. There's context. Don't at her.
And we don't have a rating on this show, so come for me.
Oh, go for it. Okay, then let her rip.
Orion has a question for me. Jade, I recently saw the concept of gender swap musicals. What show would you love to see gender swap? Gia, you got one. Go for it.
Oh, no. Like literally all of them. I'm excited to hear what you're going to say. That's why I was having a gay moment.
Gotcha. I know they just did 1776 with an all-female cast, which looks incredible. What would I gender swap?
I want to see 6 with some fabulous gays.
I love that. Now, I do know the reason they haven't done it is more for the female empowerment of it.
I hear it. Yeah.
I get that. Like Steel Magnolias has the same rule.
For sure.
I would love to see something like a gender swapped Phantom.
Ooh.
Or like a gender swapped Les Mis. Like something big that you're just kind of like, oh, or I like gender blind casting. Being a director for the New Jersey Renaissance Fair, I have actually spent a good part of the day casting Macbeth. And I kind of went into it with like a gender blind idea on it because Macbeth, there's one woman in the whole damn show.
Right.
But I was like, no, let's get rid of that idea. Let's just go, okay, some of these characters are not the gender of the performer. And we do have a non-binary performer in that show as well. So I'm like, okay, once you get rid of the idea of gender and let the characters exist. A friend of mine actually told me once she was doing Romeo and Juliet, and they did gender blind casting on it. So Romeo and Juliet were both men.
I live.
And like it kind of
Come on, Juliet.
Right. And it was more of a love story about two people finding each other rather than like a man and a woman finding each other. Two awkward teenagers. Romeo and Juliet's not a love story, just throwing it out there. It's a story about two. Oh, Derek says gender swapped Wicked. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. Like, just throw the idea of gender out the window. Just
here for it.
Exactly. Oh, and all gender blind casting of 6 would be decadent.
Mm-hmm. And it would just be such a treat for the eyeballs. Like my eyes are like my eyes crave that, I think.
Well, I know that the Anne Boleyn in London is non-binary right now.
Fabulous.
And they're amazing.
Chicago.
Ooh, Chicago. How was that, by the way?
Oh, thank you for asking. Oh my God. So Saturday I went to visit Gia in New York, but she wasn't home. So I went and saw Chicago on Broadway for the first time, featuring Jinx Monsoon as matron Mama Morton. And it was so stinking good. It wasn't even funny. Like, Jinx definitely stole the show. Her introducing drag humor into that character was exactly what that show needed. And
Awesome.
everybody was phenomenal. They really were. Whoever played Mary Sunshine, beautiful opera singer, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And she came out and she's singing notes that Mariah Carey could never. And throughout the show, it's revealed that she's a man.
Hell yeah.
And to see this big man sing opera like that was just mind blowing. I was like, kaboom. So
I live.
it was great. And the orchestra was part of the show, which was kind of neat. They were actually on the stage, they were the set, and played several roles throughout the whole broadcast. So it was great. It was good. Yeah, Jinx was great.
A gender swapped Sweeney Todd. Sorry, my brain went back there for a second.
That could be fun.
And she's a stylist, not a barber.
Of course.
Of course she is.
That
Of course she is.
I really wanted to go with you to see Chicago. However, driving back from Rehoboth the night before, that did not happen. I got a hotel room.
Did you?
Sure did.
Yeah, it can be quite the drive at 1 or 2 in the morning when you get home.
Yep. I'm down there again March 17th and then the whole weekend of like April 21st.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're down there so often. That is wonderful.
I already have 3 gigs lined up that weekend and I'm trying to get a 4th.
Do Shrimpies if you want.
She's a businesswoman.
I'm already in Shrimpies.
Good for you.
She's a businesswoman. Stamp
Exactly.
the dance card.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, my business cards are on the other side of the room. All right. 12 more questions. Kids, we're going over tonight. Deal with it. For MGA, what was the process when you were informed you were going to have to base your outfits by a chosen color?
Well, when we won our preliminaries and we had our critiques, the first question that we were asked by Dextasy was, what color do you want for presentation for Miss Gay America? When I had chosen mine, there were certain ones I was not allowed to pick, but I picked mine strategically based off of my package for Miss Gay America. My tie was yellow, my gown was yellow. I did gold and yellow for talent, and yellow was my presentation. So yeah, we were asked that as soon as we won. Like when I won Miss Maryland, we had a meeting right after. What color do you want? So
yeah. Well, and they announced it at the very beginning of the pageant season, before preliminary started, the way it was going to shake out. So if you had any plans to compete at Miss America in January, you were already thinking about, okay, when I get my ticket, what am I going to pick? And there's only a certain number of spots per color, like Amethyst said. So, there were a couple times where your color got chopped because it was all maxed out. So yeah, we were informed like way right before we even started competing. So we were kind of kicking it around. But I'm glad I wanted to do yellow or orange kind of from the jump. So it all worked out.
Nice.
When did you win? When was your preliminary?
September 19th, 2022.
Wow. Mine was October.
Yeah. So, yeah. No. We and that's the thing. Like, we both qualified late in the season. We had plans to be up there, but I mean, I had gone to Western States in, I think, April it was, and got second alternate, so I didn't qualify. So after that, I was like, okay, what's my next move? And there were a couple other prelims before New York that I was considering, but I really wanted to. Thomas had made public that this was going to be the last year he was promoting Miss New York, and I really wanted the chance to, if this was my last chance to work with him, as a promoter for Miss America, I wanted to jump on it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I like that. Vicky would like to know, when it comes time to step down from your current reign, what plans do you have for future pageants?
Oh, yeah, it's funny when as soon as you win, you're already planning your step down. So, and oftentimes before, like being a drag entertainer for so many years, you always think about, oh, when I win this, this is what I would do at my step down. So, plans for your give up usually happen before you even win the title. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely do have and have already taken steps to return to nationals next year. Have I picked a preliminary yet? No, I have not. But in the meantime, there is work that can be done, regardless of whether it's this year or next, of things that I can prepare for, and get them out of the way. So, and that's one of the biggest things you can do as a competitor. Get it done early, honey. Order those things when you don't need them. Have an inventory and have like a stock of things that you can utilize for your package. But yes, I do plan to return. Is it going to be next year? I don't know yet. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying the journey at this point. We just got back from nationals, so we're gonna put that on the back burner and just enjoy the ride for now. So, but yeah, I'm coming back. Absolutely.
And I, as it stands, I won't be relinquishing my title. Like I said, it was made public that this was going to be the last Miss Gay New York America promoted by Thomas John. So I was his fifth, and it's no step down for me as it stands. So as far as what happens after that, I don't know. Much like Amethyst, I'm looking at prelims. I'm mapping things out, but I'm not committed to anything quite yet. My job has me pretty swamped right now by day. I'm actually a director for our Utah Pride Center. So I find myself, Pride is coming up first weekend of June. So we are busy trying to make that all happen. So I'm kind of putting everything on the back burner until I get through Pride. And once that comes and goes, we'll look at some preliminaries. But no, like Miss Gay America is probably my first love with pageantry, and I will do everything I can to wear the crown one day. But in the meantime, there might be a need to take a couple years off. There might be a need to go explore another system just for the love of pageantry. So right. I would love to participate in Continental one day. I would love to experience All American Goddess. I would love to experience US of A. My God, like the drag. So, that's kind of what I'm loving right now is there's a lot of ways to enjoy pageantry, and I'm gonna sample a few things at the buffet, but the main course will always be Miss America.
Perfect. Tying into that, Daniel just asked a good question. Can you do the same preliminary as the one you are the current title holder for?
No, not here. Nope. You cannot defend your title once you fulfill your obligation by going to nationals, your reign is over. If you're a regional title holder like myself, obligations fulfilled, you're done. State title holders often have city preliminaries they have to administer. So, like Miss Arkansas, Miss Ohio, Miss Arizona, those girls are Miss Texas. Those girls are now busy. They had to not only compete at a national level, but they have an entire year, a year of work to do. I know the Amethyst has got some prelims coming up. So, she's now she's got to get to work.
I'm so excited.
She gets to show up, perform, and make some money.
Yes, honey.
But no, now that I get to be the person that gets to guide the contestants, and I'm the one that they're looking up to. Like, it's such a cool feeling to be able to do that and to find the next person to take over for you. It's fun to see the passion and the drive and the dedication that these girls have in wanting to have something that you've won. You know what I mean? So it's cool. It's very sad. I am going to be a blubbering mess at my give up.
I have so much envy for the state girls because they get that experience of administering prelims. Yeah. You get a little taste of what it's going to be like when you're Miss Gay America one day. And
Right.
regional girls, don't get that opportunity. We just we get our ticket, we do nationals, and go home. So I've got a lot of respect for you state title holders, because you really put a lot of work in.
Yes, and it just makes you better. It
Yep.
makes you better. It
Yep.
does.
All right, 7 more questions.
Cool.
Hayden would like to know, have you ever judged a king competition?
I have not.
I don't believe I have.
No, I don't judge often. I really don't enjoy it. We touched on this earlier in the show, and it's I'll do it if I have to, but I really don't enjoy judging. It's not a responsibility that I feel for you. It's not my thing. I've been to a couple like all king reviews that we've had here in Salt Lake, but there's like here in Utah, like there are not really competitions. There's a lot of shows. It's really cool to see there's so much drag in so many venues right now, but not a lot of it is like competition or pageant driven. It's the show,
Right.
I've judged competitions where there was a king category, where there was a Mr. and a Miss, and it's, we hold them to the same standard. You gotta hit what the title is. That, I think that's the thing with pageantry. There was a question earlier. Is it still I don't know where we missed it, but it's basically when you are competing for something, that's a job interview. That is you being a representative of something for a year. And with something like MGA, they're looking for a spokesperson. They're looking for that icon who's going to embody MGA for a year.
Right.
So it's very that. Go into that interview being what they want.
Yeah.
The lovely Alanya Chest has been watching this evening, and I've noticed her almost getting the urge to possibly compete.
Yes, indeed.
Her question is, who are some drag icons you look up to as mentors?
Oh my goodness, my favorite is Sabrina White, Miss Gay America 2002, Miss Gay United States 2020. I fell in love with her since the day I met her, which was, oh God, early 2001. My God, I had just turned 21 and I seen her for the first time, and she's been an inspiration to me since day one. So definitely Sabrina White.
Awesome.
How about you, Gia?
3 come to mind specifically. Luana Jackson, we talked about her earlier in the show. Just such, the show will last until Saturday if I say all the things I love about her. But just an incredible spirit. Tiffany Bonet is a huge mentor of mine. She lives in Vegas. She comes up to do my show often. We have shared some tea and some tears, and she's one of the Miss Americas who we talked earlier how good it feels to be seen. I feel like Tiffany really sees me, and I always just feel so comforted by her. And then the third is our newest forever, Dexasy, Miss America 2022. And she was such a huge part of my journey. I was actually at 3 prelims under her reign. I competed for Western States, was a lovely second alternate. I won Miss New York, and then I attended Miss Sin City. And so, we got to bonding over those experiences. And she's still someone who I talk to often. We'll text each other some funny bullshit throughout our work day and stuff, and check in. And she's going to be a big part of my Miss Gay America future for sure.
Isn't that cool? That's the best part. That's the best part, is that connection that we made with her hasn't stopped. You know what I mean? It still continues. We still have that relationship with her. So that's so cool.
I loved it earlier. Gia was doing a live while she was getting ready, and Dextasy popped in and was getting ready for the homosexual program.
I know. It was such a blessing having her on the show. It was so cool.
I love her.
Where would you like your drag career to be in the next 5 years?
Ooh.
Oh, well, hopefully by then I've stepped down as Miss Gay America, but we'll see. No pressure. No pressure. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, if Amethyst has copied my homework. That I was certainly going to say, I'd love to have achieved Miss Gay America by then. But, I've learned over the last 10 years of doing this that there's so many blessings along the way, and it's so easy to get disenchanted and disillusioned by getting on
Indeed.
Drag Race, winning that national title. When I sit and think about what I've been able to do and participate in and accomplish by way of drag, I'm so proud of myself. And I mean that with as much humility as you can possibly say that with, but I am so proud of the money I've raised for charity, of the queer youth I've touched and performed for, their families that have come and experienced my show and been touched by the message. Getting to travel, getting to participate in pageants. Like, there's so much that I'm already so happy with. And it wasn't until November actually that I found myself with a 9 to 5. For the last 2 years prior to November, I was a full-time queen, and that's how I paid the bills. And it it's a lot. That's another thing that I think a lot of girls have as like a fantasy or like a bucket list item. I would love to be a full-time queen, but bitch, like, get your rest, drink your water, and take your vitamins, because it will wear you the fuck out. So, I'm very proud that I was able to do that too. So, the short answer is, in 5 years, I still want to be as in love with drag as I am today. I still want to be loving pageants. I still want to be grateful for every gig that I get. I want to have the power of choice. I want to be able to choose what gigs I take, because another ugly side of being a full-time queen, you don't always have that luxury. Because, bitch, if you got to keep the lights on, a girl's got to work, and so that power of choice is something that I came to appreciate when I found myself once again with when drag was my side hustle. So I just want to be loving drag still.
Right, only a drag queen will take $10,000 worth of merchandise to $100 gig that's 175 miles away.
Period.
Baby. Baby, we
Yeah,
gotta start asking for what we provide. You know what I mean? If you expect me to bring you 10 grand, I expect a good portion of that back. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, a good tip and show is the difference between me getting guacamole or upsizing my drink.
Baby,
A girl's got to eat, so tip the dolls, tip the kings. We hungry.
We talked about this recently because I don't perform in smoking venues, and that's just because, like,
that's okay though.
I don't want to have to wash all my wigs. Simple as that.
Yeah.
We have this could be a heavier question, but it's a beautiful question from David Harding. When you have gone through a traumatic event in your life, how do you hold feeling emotions? How do you hold in feeling emotions when trying to perform or to compete? Personally, I don't. I use it. When my grandmother passed away, the very next show I did Dead Mom from Beetlejuice, and I just let the tears out. I used it.
Remember that. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to. You have to. Those are the moments in life that, although you can't see the outcome because of what you're currently going through, those are the moments that you need to utilize your love for yourself, and you find yourself in those dark moments. Those are the things that will make you a better person in life. I often think that it's the traumatizing times and the sad times and the rough times, the hard, difficult times in life that truly make us who we are, because you have to really appreciate those times in order to grow and be a better person. It gives you a better understanding of a different side of life that you have to have in order to thrive.
Yep.
So yeah, those are the times where that's your superpower right there.
Yeah,
that's your superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think all artists have some innate pain to them. And it's all about, listening to yourself, knowing yourself, and handling it accordingly. And some people don't have that outlet. So be there for your fellow artists. Be there
Well,
for your fellow
and
performers.
that's what this art can be, a catalyst to human connection. We're all fucked up, we all have stuff, like to feel pain and loss, and to be joyous and thankful and celebrate. That's all part of the human experience. And drag is one way that we can connect and enjoy that together. That's why I love being a brunch queen. There's such a magic to the drag brunch experience. Vibes are good. People are having their mimosas. It's Sunday, bitch. I love having a good time with people. I love sharing, all the beauty and joy that this art form has to offer with people. That's the beautiful part of it. So part of that experience is also all the other stuff aside from the fun and the glamour. Sometimes a queen might come out and need to get some feelings out on stage. Like recently we lost one of our sister queens, Sarah Problem. She was killed in a car accident last year, and the day after that happened, a couple days after that happened, we had a show, and so many of the community came and wore some gorgeous black clothing, and we got on stage and did One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey together, and just had a beautiful moment, just embracing and missing Sarah and grieving her and crying and hugging, and it was really beautiful. Maybe not wasn't what the audience came to see first thing on Sunday morning in drag brunch, but I'm really grateful that we get audiences that allow us to have those moments. And just like we talked about the humanity of like judging a pageant earlier, there's all us performers, we're real people under all this glamour. So
yeah,
exactly. We have 2 more questions.
Woo.
Baby.
Hayden would like to know, what do you find the hardest part of living as a title holder?
The expectation, the spotlight. When you're a Miss New York and all of your Miss New York sisters that came before you made the top 5, the pressure, I would say, is that got to me a lot during my prep. I tried not to let it psych me out too bad at the pageant itself, but that was one of those things. That was one of those dark clouds that kind of hung over my head the whole time. Was I hope I'm good enough to be a part of this legacy after the pageant's over. So.
Yep. Yep. That's definitely my answer for that too. Is definitely having that self-doubt. Like I'm Miss Maryland. You know what I mean? Like, don't mess it up. You know what I mean? Like, I share a title with 5 Miss Gay Americas. You know what I mean? So the bar is set high, which I absolutely love because it has challenged me and made me such a better entertainer. But there's also that pressure, you know what I mean? Like, I respect my elders. I respect my former sisters that came before me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to mess this up.
Right.
So, yeah, come hell or high water, we're going to do it, baby. So you definitely have to overcome some self-doubt and expectation when it comes to the title. So.
When I was Queen of Hope, I felt that pressure a lot because it was a title based on like anti-bullying, and people would be very quick to go, "Why are you talking about someone in a dressing room?" I'm like, because I am being critical of a person, and I would tell them to their face. If they were here, I would be telling them.
Right.
So yeah, that was a double-edged sword kind of year.
Yeah.
And our final question from Orion: if you were to run for president, what would your campaign slogan be?
Let's move to Canada.
We're out of here.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think mine would be embrace and educate. It's ignorance is the core of so many injustices here in our country and all across the world. And honest to God, I think if you build a bridge, if you plant it, it will grow. I truly am a believer in that. So, I think there needs to be a lot more education out there to really squash the ignorance in this world. If people could just learn to mind their business, you know what I mean? Just the simple thing of just living your life and being happy for what you have and what you've been given. Clap and cheer for other people other than yourself. Just be happy. Our time is limited. Stop wasting it on things that you have nothing to do with. You know what I mean? So there's so much legislation on the table that has been passed in our country. I'm like, are we still doing this? And it's because of the lack of education and the lack of information out there in our world. You know what I mean? Embrace and educate people. We can do this together. We can coexist and thrive. You know what I mean? So yeah, mine would be embrace and educate.
The things that make us different make us more interesting and make us stronger.
Yes.
Simple as that. Celebrate your differences.
Amen, honey. Amen, Lori. That's right, Lori. Lori said amen. Yeah.
So before we get going, as everyone out there knows, my husband is a show director and runs now several very successful shows. And he loves to have some helpful drag tips for everybody out there. And this helpful drag tip tonight is for performers. And that tip is be mindful of the body parts you are exposing, on purpose or not, during performances. A nip slip, for example, can cause a lot of problems for a venue.
Don't get your tits out, girls.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. I mean, especially in this day and age, like we are under several microscopes. We're being attacked from all angles. People are looking for any goddamn excuse to shut us down, shut us up, put us back into the closet. So, there's a fine line between artistic integrity and respecting your audience. Just be mindful of that.
Perfect example. Central Pennsylvania Pride is an all-ages event. Please leave your exposed outfits at home. And to quote, I forget who said it, I think it was on Fashion Photo Review, stop wearing chaps. The chaps are overdone.
Be tasteful, be mindful. It's actually more respectful to be mindful and tasteful. You know what I mean? You can be whoever you want to be but when it comes to certain events, be mindful and tasteful. Be an example.
If you're unable to edit your own aesthetic to accommodate different audiences, it's good. I would work on that. It's going to be really hard to if you've got big aspirations to be a known performer. That's something you need to consider. You've got to be able to edit your aesthetic to accommodate the job you're being hired to do. There's a time and a place for everything, and a lot of what goes on at 1 a.m. in back alley watering hole is not what is going to fly on a stage at 2 p.m. at Austin Pride in front of 8,000 people. Be respectful.
If you can't fit the theme, don't take the gig.
Right.
Simple as that. Gia, this has been an absolute joy getting to know you this evening.
Likewise.
Do you have any parting words for everyone who is watching at home?
I mean, God, we unpacked a lot today, so to those of you that stuck around for the whole production, thank you. I guess I want to say, especially to my queer community, the call's coming from inside the house, and there is more queer on queer crime, queer on queer disrespect than we're getting from the outside. And if the far right is successful, it's because they have unity. And, conformity, I'm not asking for conformity here, but I need us queers to be way better about holding each other's hand all the time, not just when it benefits you. Cancel culture has got to be canceled. Let's encourage more healthy conversations, because a lot of this, cancel culture stuff is coming from a severe lack of understanding. So let's listen with our hearts just as much as our ears.
Agreed.
What more needs to be said?
True. Very true. Do you have anything to add, Amethyst?
Of course I do. Of course I do. My sister, Gia, my goodness. I am so very honored and grateful that you decided to do this with us. It has been such a blessing having you here. I hope
Thank
this was as therapeutic for me and for you and for Jade as it was for our viewers. And that's why we do this. We've been doing this a long time. We have over 10,000, 11,000 followers now, and
Wow.
it's a blessing to have like-minded individuals get on here and spread the good word and spread love and light into the world. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are a joy. It was such an experience in Miss Gay America with you. So to you, my statuesque Lady Liberty, I love you and thank you for joining us on the show. My sister Jade, I love you and I love what we do together. And I'm so very grateful to be on this crazy wild roller coaster ride with you. There's a lot of good things coming for you and I. And I'm happy you're here with me. So to all the viewers, our Patreon subscribers, thank you so much for keeping us alive. Thank you for spreading the good word of light and love. We love you, and we do it for you. So thank you so much. Love you and good night.
I want to thank both of you for just the more I learn about the Gay America system, the more excited I am to watch and to just support. It is beautiful. Yeah. This kind of sisterhood is what drag is about. It's beautiful to watch. Gia, I am so glad I finally got to meet you. This
Same,
one
girl.
So highly of you, and it's just like I got to get Gia on the show.
I had an absolute blast and a delight, and I'll come back anytime you will have this old hand come club for you. Anytime.
Game on.
We're doing the Lord's work.
We are doing the Lord's work. Speaking of work, a teaser for everybody out there. For those of you who have merch or are looking for our new merch, it is right around the corner. So we are working on, we got new cartoons done. They are not finished yet, but I wanted to give you a teaser. We're going to start with Amethyst's new look, which is right here.
Yes!
And I am getting...
That is so her hair. Yes, bitch. I'm obsessed. I love
it. That hair up there. It's right there.
That bitch, that's you. They nailed it.
Right? That is by an artist on Fiverr who has done a lot of artwork for us. She did our original Inside the Drag Closet things up in the corner. Yeah, but we are working on new shirts, new everything. So
I'm so excited by that because it's such a blessing to be at a show out of town somewhere else and to see someone wearing, you know, it's just like, and Jess is such a great supporter with that. She has my t-shirt and she wears it all the time. So we got new merch for you, Jess. We got you, baby.
Yep. All of the proceeds from the merch go right back into the show, and of course to me and Amethyst, because this is our job.
A girl's gotta eat.
Exactly. Everybody, make sure you tune in 2 weeks. Like I said, our incredible guests are going to be Sybil and Peter Pansy, two amazing young drag performers who I'm very excited to get to know. But we have reached the end of our time, so we're going to leave with this. Go out and be the beauty that you would like to see in the world. Good night.
Thank you for joining us on Inside the Drag Closet.